Thank you for visiting. I just have to say something. Today, we're going to take a look at a video of an Army veteran that stops an alleged thief while going through his parking lot of where he's volunteering at a food bank. I want to take a look at some of the things that we can learn from this incident, what we can take away and learn of this encounter. While it was successful, I believe that there's some opportunities to learn from it. Please like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. Let's dive into this.
Workers at a food bank in College Park find themselves right in the middle of a police chase.
A quick-thinking Army veteran sprung into action when volunteers saw the suspect run to the back with a gun. Tonight, he's speaking only with Fox 5's Rob D'Arienzo about those dramatic moments.
Well, the volunteers here at Feeding Georgia Families were getting ready to distribute food to families in need. Then all of a sudden, a guy runs through their parking lot. A volunteer notices he has a gun and runs for help. Take a look. The food bank security cameras captured the car chase suspect on the move.
Come up front. Some guy's on the run from cops. You got a gun, he in the back. He ran out back, right?
At that point, I went out the back door, chambered around.
There's two takeaways at this point. One, I've been carrying concealed for over 20 years now, and everybody goes through their maturity process of what they carry, how they carry, and what they feel comfortable with. I strongly encourage people to always carry with a round in the chamber. It takes some time to get used to. You have to get comfortable with your gun. You have to get comfortable with your holster system. And it's a matter of training, in my opinion. Now, there are some extremists out there that will sit there and say, well, if you're not carrying one in a chamber, you shouldn't be carrying it all. And that's not true. I would rather have a pistol unloaded on my hip and ready to go than have it in my safe at home. Now, the second thing is we have to take a look at you are engaging into a unknown situation where there's no risk to you to volunteer to get into potentially a gunfight. And take in consideration that in Georgia, this veteran got away with this and without any major incidents. And it actually he is a hero. He stopped the bad guy from doing bad things. However, in some states, involving yourself into this situation and pointing a gun at somebody who is not a threat to you could potentially get you in trouble. So I would strongly recommend taking a step back at this point when you have time and understand the laws in your local jurisdictions of engaging someone who is not a threat to you or somebody else.
Then William Joyner, who's Feeding Georgia Families' chief manager, went out back to confront the guy.
He went down to his knees, still trying to talk to me, talk his way out of it, distract me, because the whole time his right hand was sliding down toward the gun.
Police say that suspect is 20-year-old Jordan Shelley. Joyner says he would not show his other hand.
I was telling him, I was like, don't make me kill you, because I will.
In the nick of time, backup came in.
This is a particularly dangerous time for a concealed weapons holder when you're holding someone at gunpoint and the police are approaching. In many cases, they don't know who the good guy is or who the bad guy is. So whatever you do, obey the lawful orders of that police officer. You do not want to get hurt, injured, or killed due to a misunderstanding. When I first started getting interested in guns and started reading about guns, there was a term that was used within the law enforcement community that was called the good guy halo. And what that meant is that many detectives, off-duty police officers, and this was long before concealed carry, before Florida started even doing their concealed carry, these officers would end up getting shot because they figured that they had some kind of aura around them that the police would automatically identify them as the good guy. And they wouldn't follow commands or they would do some certain movement and they would end up getting hurt or killed. So my recommendation is if you're in a similar situation like this and the police are approaching and you could holster your gun, do so. If the person that you're stopping or the person that you're holding at gunpoint is still a risk, when the police officer get close enough to make sure to follow his or her instructions.
Continue telling him, put that hand up where I can see it. And at that point, luckily, a College Park police officer came running around with his taser out, and the guy put his hand up then.
College Park police say Shelley and 21-year-old James Green fled from officers in a stolen car on Roosevelt Highway. That car wrecked and took out a whole bus stop, ending the chase. Officers say they quickly grabbed Green, but Shelley took off running across train tracks onto West Point Avenue to Feeding Georgia Families. Both face obstruction charges, while Green was also charged with theft and criminal damage to property. Here's the gun that Joyner says police recovered.
that this is a shocker that a 20-year-old would be carrying a firearm, which is illegal in the state of Georgia, in the commission of a crime. And for the gun control advocates out there, they're saying that the gun's the problem. And it's like, no, the gun's an inanimate object. It's the person that is committing an act of violence with that object that needs to be held accountable. This is a great example of two individuals. One has the possession of a gun in the commission of a crime, while the other is a law-abiding citizen, a veteran, doing the right thing at the right time. Gun control advocates never, ever look at the actions of a criminal. They always want to look at the inanimate object, the gun, as the source of the problem. The thing that frustrates me the most is whenever somebody does some act of lunacy with a gun, they want to go after law-abiding citizens. Just imagine if your neighbor gets a DWI and they come up to you and say, we're going to put a alcohol detection device on your car because your neighbor had his third DWI and we're concerned about you. We would never tolerate that.
There wasn't much time to think about it in the moment. I just knew what, to me, was right.
And Joyner thanks his Army training for his quick thinking actions. He said if he had to do it all over again, he'd do it in a heartbeat. In College Park, Rob DiOrienzo, Fox 5 News.
Now, this veteran did a great job. And if you were to ask me, would I have stepped outside to engage an unknown person? Now, if that person tried to come into the facility where I was at and my coworkers were at, game on. But to step out into an encounter, is it worth getting killed over, killing someone over? I don't know. I don't think so. In other states and other jurisdictions, our good guy would maybe be in more trouble than the alleged criminal in this situation. And the criminal would be out and faster than getting a Domino's pizza. And our good guy may be in trouble for the next 3 years. So I would say, please make sure you understand the laws in your local jurisdictions and be prudent about engaging someone when you don't necessarily need to. And one thing I want to add before we wrap this up, had our good guy shot the alleged bad guy, even if he did everything right, that doesn't prevent the family from filing a wrongful death lawsuit against you, because their argument is you were safe in your building. You stepped out and engaged into a situation that was dangerous. You had no reason to get involved. That was law enforcement's job. So please be very careful about what engagements you get into. Please hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell and share this video. Thank you for visiting. I just have something to say. We'll see you soon.